Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is Floki here. Happy to see you again on today's vlog. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you like me doing this, kind of videos, or do you want me to be going around and showing you some things around the city? The weather is getting cold, bit by bit, but I don't know. Let me know what you prefer, or you just don't mind anyone, as long as we are sharing the message that resonates. Okay, today's video, just want to address a few things that kind of bothers around immigrants as well, and how we need to reorientate ourselves about settling down, and when it comes to managing our expectation, when it comes to the realities of immigrants' expectation here in Canada. Our realities, are they matching the expectation we have coming in here as immigrants? What are your thoughts as an immigrant? If you have actually landed here in Canada, have you really met your expectation, or are your expectation met in you thinking about coming to Canada, and what you actually have met on ground or saw or experienced? What is your take? I know that so many people that are coming this way, even when you're coming through whatever route, now let's even go broader, all the routes that you come in with, and the expectation, even especially with maybe like the nominee programs that tell you there's job, there's this, there's that, they are looking for this is available in the NOC. Are you really seeing it? Maybe the Canadian government has lied to us, but what is your take? My own opinion is that honestly they have not done well, because truth be told, when professionals actually leave their home country with their plush jobs and living well some, and they decide to come abroad and find greener pastures, or even settle down because of the economic situations back in their home country, and they come here and things are not as they think it is. And I'm also going to flip the coin back to those that haven't immigrated, that are still in the home country, and the expectation they have about those that have moved. Because yeah, everybody has expectation, and when you are moving as an immigrant, you have expectation to the land that you are coming into. And when you move, those that you have left behind in your home country, they are expectant that my brother, my sister, my uncle, my auntie has moved abroad, so he must be doing the needful. There are so many expectations, and that's, well, human. We are all human beings, but we need to manage that expectation. The reality is what actually is on ground, and that's what we must be pushing, and that's what we must be canvassing as immigrants. So the expectation for us, number one, we all talk about finding jobs here in Canada. Are we really finding the jobs? Are the jobs really there? Are they available to us as immigrants? Are there discrimination? Are there racism? Are there segmentations with you getting jobs? And I know that even from experience, and those that have known variously here in Canada, there's always constant turnaround of immigrants, even in the workplace. I've been a recruiter before, and I know that they count these numbers. They are always looking for the number of visible minorities that have been hired. We're always counting the numbers, and we need to report this number. So we're always looking for the number of visible minority, the number of immigrants, the number of this, the number of that have been hired in the job, because they don't want it. They call it inclusiveness. By this, they need to have diverse groups of people hired in the workplace. And because they need to report these numbers, they hire people in these various sectors. So when it states, and then you get into the workplace, they've already reported this number quarterly, annually, whatever. And then 6 months down the line, 1 year down the line, 3 months down the line, there's something that is fishy, and everything still goes back to them saying that the company is restructuring, the company is this, or they don't need your service anymore, or something is fishy somewhere, and then they let you go. Is this really the expectation for us as immigrants, or are they just using us to count numbers? I've had incidents of a couple of people that have lost jobs this way. Really nothing particular about what they've done or whatever. Some of the people that they report to are even intimidated by the way they work, and then they see that things are, or they feel threatened really by the way this person is going, because they know that we blacks, generally when we say blacks, we are very industrious, we are very articulate with our jobs. We don't do slow motion on the job. The thing that will take us 1 hour, these people, they do it for one whole day or even more. But hey, we are just there because we need to pay our bills and then get the work done. That is our orientation, because we work the work. That being said, that is one expectation that we have, but it is not met. And then there's always recycle of this. And then those that are at home are also looking for you sending money to them, which realistically you are still making ends meet. And you know, truth be told again is that even as immigrants, you need about 5 years minimum for you to really settle down. Most people that come in don't even get jobs immediately, or they step into startup jobs just for them to at least step into something that they need to do. Some people are really frustrated by not having a job, and this, I'm going to talk about those that are even coming in with children, younger kids, and they need to be able to work here in Canada. Sometimes we need to understand that as children, when your child is not up to, I think, about 14, you need to stay home with them as the mom. And when you stay home with them, you probably will not be able to work. When you have younger kids, less than 5 or even 10, it's difficult for you to work. How do you want to do it? Daycare, you can't get daycare because there's always a wait list. There's just so many things that are restrictive. So it means the husband alone goes to work. But this is kind of frustrating to the women. They see themselves not being able to contribute to the home front, and then they just feel like they are always so, they're always at home, so drained, so saturated around these kids that they want a way of escape. But the thing is that you can actually work. You can look for a work that gives you time to do that at night. There are various other jobs. It might not be really your professional space. It might be working in the grocery store. It might be, you know, where you have to stack some things, or even in the care, you know, job. You can work in where they care for the elderly. You can do shifts at night where you can do these things, and then while your husband is at home with the kids during the night, you are working, and then the reverse is the case. You come in and sleep, and then you're making your money. You probably will take not as much shift so that you also don't get burnt out, because you know, during the day when you're supposed to be catching the sleep, those that cannot be put into school are awake because they have slept all night. So you need to balance all these things, and these are realities and expectations that we must face, you know, from the immigrant perspective. It is not easy, guys, and you know, if you are not there, there's really no way you can explain it. And as much as I'm even trying to explain it, I know some people still don't get it. They still don't understand it. They wonder why we complain as immigrants, or, well, it's not like complain, but we're just making the awareness. But they say we complain, but we're just making immigrants aware, and those that are coming, that these things are the realities. A couple of immigrants families that I've also tried to settle through my own program have come up to say, oh my God, Floki, they did not know. And some people have come up, and after a few months they are like, oh my God, this is not what I bargained for. I am going back to my country. And immigrants are actually living. They are living for their country because the expectations are really not met. Is it housing? The cost of housing or renting a space is overwhelming, guys. It is getting higher and higher by the day. And how do you want immigrants to pay for these things? And sometimes, for me that even go house hunting, you see some agents or some property owners saying they want you to have like 1 year of that rent in your bank account. Yes, they have proof of funds, but even the proof of funds, when they say you should have proof of funds, does not mean you should cater for your whole expense of you renting a house for Habba. You guys should take it easy. Immigrants are coming to settle. One, depreciation has entered this their money already, because if their exchange rate is not commensurate with Canada, because it won't anyway, it has already devalued their money, and then it comes here, it becomes almost nothing. You guys should temper mercy and be able to help immigrants really settle. Talk about discrimination, whether in the workplace, in the society, and all of that. And I don't want to rule out the facts here, because I know that there are so many genuine like Canadians that are also here, that embrace the diversity and the inclusiveness of other cultures here in Canada, but there are still a majority that pretend to like you, that pretend to show love to you, but they come in disguise and then they come backstab you. These are realities that we find here in Canada, and that is why as immigrants we need to be careful. I know that I'm talking from the black people perspective, or maybe let me not generalize in black and just say like Nigerians. We know who we are, but other cultures to know how they relate with people. We relate more, we talk more, we are very open, we share a lot. But you know, I think we should be careful what we talk about, what we share about ourselves, and don't get too comfortable, whether in your workplace or in the places that you are. You must be able to look at how the place has embraced you in such a way that you begin to open up, because sometimes you say some things, it comes back to you and haunts you. There are genuine things that you say because you feel this person is your friend, or you feel this person has embraced you, so I can share X and Y about my personal life, I can share X and Y about my family. You guys need to be careful as immigrants, because honestly, truth be told, it is in fact, like we will say in our culture, for our boo, it is not real that naturally, you know, Canadians have seen you as a threat. They've seen you as coming to Canada to take up the positions and the jobs that they feel their people should be taking. I was somewhere sometime that some Canadian were actually discussing, and they said over the summer some of their children did not find work because these immigrants have come to take up their jobs. Like, even with new immigrants that really don't find jobs that they can step into as their professional job, they take up these very low income jobs, and at least just to be able to salvage the situation before they get in. And because they brought in so many immigrants, they were saying this in my ears, and I was like, really? You forget that we have also come to contribute to the economy of Canada. How dare you say that? So because immigrants are coming in, you cannot find jobs. That is so sad to say. And they don't look at the reality of the benefit that immigrants have brought their way. So we need to be careful as immigrants. We need to weigh our options and understand, you know, differentiate the realities and the expectations that have come to us here as immigrants. Again, because we are overly committed to our family back at home, we need to kind of balance those commitments as well, and balance the expectation back from home. I know things are hard, things are tough back at home, but honestly, the commitments for us are huge. When I speak to Canadians, how they spend their money is so different from how we spend our money. We send money home because we have people to care for. But here, for them, even if you're having a party or you're doing something, the Canadian, they'll probably just give you a $10 gift card, $20 gift card. We give money, and money is money in the sense of, you know, how huge it is to support our loved ones, support people that we're sending in school back at home, you know, feeding a community or feeding our family, you know, just trying to salvage situations back at home. Canadians don't do that, and that's why our commitment to working 1 job, 2 jobs, 3 jobs, 4 jobs to be able to meet these needs and then get burnt out because of it. So the reality is, you need to let your people at home know that, guys, things are not the way they seem here in Canada, and you must try and enjoy your life in such a way that you're not burnt out. When you get burnt out, you can't even help them. That's the truth. That's the reality. We must be able to weigh those options, see what benefits us, see what benefits our people at home, and look at the society here. Now we have different seasons, 4 seasons, and even navigating those 4 seasons, it is a problem. For us right now, the weather is beginning to get cold. It's changing. We're in fall. Trees are falling. The weather is changing. It's raining. It's just a myriad of different things that are happening in the season, which hasn't really followed the normal cycle in this year. So we are managing that. And then we have to work. So the reality is that people need to let their family back at home know that, look, it is not the way you think. We're not picking, you know, dollars from the tree, and we're working our lives around to be able to get money sent to you. And then they must appreciate those expectations. You know, when you give them money at home, sometimes they are really upset that you are sending this amount to me. This is what I expect, but do you know how much I earn? Do you know whether I even work? Do you know how long I have worked to earn this money that I have sent to you? Appreciate what you are given if you are back at home. It is not easy for immigrants to also work. One, we are not as given that opportunity, we are pushing so hard to get that opportunity to move into higher positions. And then if we get there, yes, we can do better. But if we are not there, we are still trying our best to be able to meet your need. So please celebrate us, celebrate the wins that you have. Even as immigrants, when you make one milestone, when you make one move, when you have one thing that you do, that you succeed in it, please celebrate your wins. You are the one that will cheer up yourself, you will champion your wins, you will celebrate yourself, and that way it helps you and energizes you to do better. Things are really, as they are here in Canada, I don't want to say it's tough, but we are all coasting along and making sure that we stay above the waters. And that's why I always encourage people to be able to find other means to be able to generate income for themselves. It is not just 9 to 5, guys. 9 to 5 don't pay the bills. Look for one of the passions or the things that you do, that you enjoy doing, that you can do even when they wake you up from bed, and begin to monetize it. And that helps you to stay afloat. You get money from these things that you do, and you enjoy the things you do. You add more value to the society, help people to gain, you know, more things that you can share with them. And then you're also making money on the side. And like the last video I shared, you have opportunity to get funding from the government if you're also hiring workers and you're getting skilled people to be able to migrate and come on board. So let's look at all these things so that the realities that we have on ground, we can create them ourselves. Let's create our own realities. Our expectations will not meet Canada expectation in any way because it is so far from it. So let's create our realities as immigrants. Let's be our brother and sister's keeper. Let's help ourselves. Don't let us backstab ourselves as immigrants. Let's embrace the culture that we have come to meet here, and let's embrace ourselves as well as immigrants so that Canada will know that indeed we are one and together. So if this has helped you, please like and subscribe if you are new to this channel. Put your comments in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts about this expectation versus reality. And as immigrants, what have you learned? What has been your challenge? What has been the main reason why you have gone back, if you have gone back to your country, or why you have even stayed? So let's have this chit chat in the comment section. See you in my next vlog. Bye guys.